Well, here in Memphis today, a lot of big Elvis fans, including the one sitting across from you, George.
Ray?
Ray is here. Ray Zazzo from Rochester, New York.
Talk to me, Ray.
Good afternoon, GK. How you doing?
Good. Well, you brought me some gluten-free cupcakes, huh?
Yes, I did. I thought that's what you would like.
He said to me, earlier in the week, he said, hey, what does George like to eat? And I said, I don't see George eat anything ever. You're on a very kind of a normal diet. Yeah. You do the same kind of things weekly, but right. You're on a gluten-free diet now.
Yeah,
right?
Oh yeah, boy, it's tough too. Woo.
How'd you find out about that, Ray?
I found that out through Chris Coffey.
Oh,
Chris
okay,
Coffey,
yeah.
One of George's great friends.
Production assistant up in Cincinnati. Dated Elvis too, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's interesting.
Well, he's wanting you to sign a couple of photographs. Because
what are they for, Ray?
George, we're going to have our third annual Elvis Bingo to benefit St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital right here in Memphis, Tennessee. And we had a few of those signed by you last year, George, and we were able to raise over $1,000.
Oh, believe it or not. St. Jude, one of my favorite charities, man.
It was also a favorite of Elvis's, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. They were going to, in fact, Ray, I don't know if you know this or not, Jim, give me some earphones. I think Elvis did a show for Danny Thomas once, and I was there and all that and raised a lot of money for St. Jude. But before Elvis passed away, the St. Jude people called me, and I went down there and gave me a tour of the hospital. Have you ever been to the hospital?
Yes, I have,
It'll
George.
break your heart.
Yes, it will.
It's a wonderful thing that Danny Thomas did. I always admire him for that, building St. Jude Hospital.
Absolutely.
But anyway, they bring me and they said, George, look, there's a Frank Sinatra floor. I think there was a Dean Martin floor. And they said, we want to do an Elvis Presley floor here at St. Jude. I said, man, Elvis would love that. And she said, but we need his approval and, something, a picture or a souvenir that we can display on the Elvis Presley floor. I said, I don't think that'd be a problem at all. A couple of weeks later, Elvis passed away.
Oh,
my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, Lord.
I never heard you tell that story, George.
But that's a wonderful, wonderful hospital. And Marlo, his daughter, and Tommy, his son, I think, carry on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do.
And another Danny Thomas story. Jim, another Danny Thomas story. I'm in Hollywood with Elvis, and Elvis moved around a lot up in the Hollywood Hills, Bel Air, and Mulholland, not Mulholland, but up in the Bel Air area, a very exclusive area. He said, GK, guess who lives next door to me? I said, who? He said, Danny Thomas. Oh. And lo and behold, I promise you, 30 minutes later, the doorbell rings. Someone in Memphis Mafia guy says, Elvis, it's Danny Thomas. He's coming over to visit. And Danny Thomas came in and talked to Elvis and us and all for about an hour.
Oh, that is something.
Yeah.
That is so interesting.
And
George.
but Elvis said, Danny, I'm mad at you. And Danny Thomas said, why? He said, because you're blocking my view of Hollywood. You know where he lived. You get a view of Hollywood. He was just kidding. And Elvis liked Danny, and the feeling was mutual. And they both had generous hearts, And
what was his TV show?
Make room for Daddy.
And Elvis wanted him to make room so he could see Hollywood.
But they were good buds and had a lot of fun together, yeah. Well, this is for St. Jude. I'll be glad to sign them.
George, thank you so much. And if I could just the words out there, of course, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We got a big push to get George in there.
Yes.
And all you got to do is just Google that, right, Jim?
Yes. Go to Google. Put in George's name, George Klein, Klein, and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and find out how you can help us as we continue to try to get George in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He should already be in there. And there's only a handful of DJs, if any, in there, right?
Well, yeah, I'm finding out, Jim, that they didn't tell us, but unless they're not leveling with me, when I've heard about some other jocks who were in there, I didn't even know were in there.
Yeah.
I know Alan Freed was in there, and Dick Clark, and the guy in San Francisco, I can't think of his name, but I didn't know some of these other people who claimed they were in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know. But it'd be a tremendous honor, because I was there, as you know, when Elvis was inducted, and I did the acceptance speech for him at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, and all the stars were in the audience, and I was so honored to go up and accept Elvis's award for him, as selected by Priscilla Presley and Jack Soden. And it was really probably one of the highlights of my whole career, really. It was a wonderful night.
George, if I may, that's one of the videos that we do post on your page.
Thank you.
And it's just awesome, and you couldn't have done it or said it any
I was
better.
on that night, wasn't I?
You were,
Man,
George.
I had my speech. And you know what? I still got that speech. I wrote it that afternoon on Waldorf Astoria stationery.
Whoa.
Up in my room. I wrote the speech out just so I wouldn't forget, They say if you write something, Jim, 2 or 3 times, it's easy to remember as you're reading your script. You know?
Yeah.
And so I had the script in front of me, but I didn't look at it too very much. But I saw that speech not too long ago. I didn't know I was that good, man.
You got to see the speech yourself, folks. Go to YouTube and put in George's name and see his speech the night that he accepted Elvis's entrance into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
What do you write? George Klein Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something?
Yeah,
Is that how you do it?
Google it, folks. Google it. Help us out. Let's get this big push going.
Ray, I want to thank you and our buddy over in New York, Jim.
Oh, Nick Stenzos and Jackie DeMarco. Who else am I forgetting?
And Walker
McCutcheon.
You guys do a fantastic job for me. I've still got the drinking cups and the T-shirts and all. I'm going to tell you, folks, these people are the real deal. If any big star wants our promotion person, they should hire this team.
And they're all
good.
across the country. It's like from California to New Jersey, and we're glad and excited that folks will be a part of it and help out. Will you? Just go to Google and Google George and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and let's get this going.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That's I know. I'm now in the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame.
Yes, you are, George.
I went in about 3 or 4 weeks ago with Rick Dees, Pat Sajak, Tennessee Ernie Ford, Dewey Phillips, Rufus Thomas. There's a lot of us that went in. The Chase guy, Crook and Chase, Jim.
Charlie Chase.
Charlie Chase was there. He went in. And Les Aker, guy from Memphis, went in. And it was just a marvelous evening. But I really want to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. You're going to be there, George. We're going to make sure of that.
Well, thanks to you, Ray, and Nick, and everybody. I appreciate it.
And all the fans out there, George.
Right.
They're right behind you.
You may not know it, but I appreciate it. I really do.
I do.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thanks to Chris Coffey, too.
Oh, and by the way, the stuff that you're signing right now, Ray, how can folks be participant in that and help raise money for St. Jude?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to hold this Elvis Bingo in Rochester, New York, and my organization, the Loyal Order of Moose, are doing this. And, I have a webpage. You can get to my webpage, and we'll give you a little information about that.
How do you get to the webpage?
Just Google Ray, ZASO, at the Loyal Order of Moose.
There you go.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Any time I can help out St. Jude, I'm there, mister.
Exactly.
Put me down. Actually,
Exactly.
a lot of charities I help out. That's my middle name, you know.
Sure. I finally got George's middle name.
The charity.
Write that
George,
down.
I'm writing it down. George Charity Klein. Very
You
good.
guys won't believe this, but I went, you know what a Piccadilly is?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I went through a Piccadilly the other night, and the little girl behind the counter that gets you your food and puts it on your plate for you, her name was Charity. I said, no, Charity, what's your name? It's just what she said. She said, Mr. Klein, you won't believe me. I said, what? She said, my real name is Faith Hope Charity Jones.
Wow. Jones.
something?
She said they used all of Faith, Hope, and Charity.
That's awesome.
That's her whole name, Faith, Hope, and Charity Jones.
You're something,
That's
George.
a true story. Hey, Ray, thanks, and tell Nick, you guys, I really appreciate you, and I'm going to sign these before you leave, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm George Clowney. We're live from Memphis, Tennessee's Graceland at Sirius XM. It's Elvis Radio, loud and loudy. Mr. Claudia, Elvis gets down. Sing in funky blues, Elvis.